Welcome to Fantasy Sports Network, the world's first 24/7 television channel devoted entirely to fantasy sports. You can stream us on your Roku player, follow us on Twitter at FantasySportsNet, and visit us at FantasySportsNetwork.com.
Game Time Decisions on the Fantasy Sports Network continues. Thanks to Jeff Mans for joining us. We welcome another fantasy guru into the studio, Pat Mayo, Fantasy Sports Network's very own. Pat, there's a ton of stuff I want to get to, including your red-hot golf picks. But first things first, your boy Johnny Manziel was dissed by EA Sports.
Everyone wants to diss Johnny Manziel. Everyone besides me is official spokesperson has it in for Johnny Manziel. I get it, though. I mean, Bortles was picked higher than Johnny Manziel was, so I guess it theoretically makes sense. But I think we all know Johnny Manziel is a whole lot better.
I think we also all know that this was a PR stunt.
And it worked. We're talking about it.
Exactly. Not only they're talking about it, like, yeah, it's being debated, and people are getting angry about this. And I get angry about a lot, but this is one thing that I did not get all that angry about. As I stated earlier in the program, Pat, I don't know if you play... Do you play Madden or any of that stuff?
I play Madden. Look, you can go in and customize the guys to have,
have
them be what you want them to be.
Nah,
so
but people are bitching on Twitter that you can't do that online.
Oh, well.
Exactly.
Stop the presses.
But I haven't played Madden in a long time, and I swear to God, video games became like sports for me, in which unless I was gambling on it, I wasn't into it. And me and my buddies used to play Madden. It started out at $5 a game. Next thing you know, we had like 100, 200 a game. Next thing you know, fist fights and smashed controllers. We went through, I'm not even exaggerating, we went through probably about 20 controllers. Like the guy at the local store was laughing at us.
I still have my original N64 controllers. You got rage problems, my friend. I do not. I'm calm, collected, on point. It's perfect.
You know, I've been told that I've had some rage issues. I've been told that I have two emotions, rage and indifference. But let's move on. All right, let's dive in here. Hey, the NFC is great. We just went through a lot of crap in the AFC, man. It was unbelievable. It's like every second team in the AFC just sucked.
Yeah, bad.
It's like, all right, let's spend 2 minutes on the Jags. we blast through it from a fantasy standpoint. But here we are to the NFC, and it's like, wow, there's a ton of fantasy potential across the board here. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm just going to ask you a question, bang, and then we'll move on to the next one. Nick Foles, is he being overvalued coming into this year? People expecting too much for Nick Foles. I see him projected, a lot of people, 7, 8, 9. I see other people saying, hey, that's way too high. He's really a 12, 13 guy.
Number 5 for me. I completely believe in Nick Foles. I believe in the system. And I don't think he's going to throw 23 touchdowns with 1 pick again. Like, that's probably not going to happen. But still, he has the potential upside because he has rushing value too. The guy scampers a lot. There's holes for him to run. He's not a running quarterback per se, but if the hole's there, he can get a first down. He can chip out an extra 3 points a game for you that way. Plus, he's never going to make the bad throw. He always keeps the offense moving down the field. And when they get in the red zone, they do like to rush a bit, but they do like throwing to Zach Ertz, Riley Cooper, and a lot of these big guys they have in the end zone. So I like his upside.
There's a lot to like about this Philadelphia Eagle offense. Arguably the best offensive line in football.
Yep.
The best running offensive line in football. So you got Foles right up there. Believe the hype when it comes to Foles. Actually, he only played in 11 games. Unbelievable numbers. 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 11 games. If he would have played in all 16 games, the numbers would have been the second best numbers in the league after Peyton Manning.
They were. He was the waiver wire savior for everyone last year. You picked him up in week 6, you wrote him out, and you probably went to the fantasy finals. So it worked out.
He was good in college, but he wasn't great. That's why there's not always that correlation.
Well, he didn't have that. Well, he didn't have that talent.
Or the system.
And Chip Kelly saw. I mean, they both played in the Pac-12, so he looks at him and he said, you know what? This guy's smart. He can get in my system. He's the perfect. I mean, Johnny Manziel really would be the best guy to run the Chip Kelly offense. He really would be. If he could grasp the system with his athleticism and his ability to scamper around, he'd be the best. But Nick Foles, he's a decent second.
I can't disagree with that because the fact of the matter is Chip Kelly recruited Johnny Manziel to play with the Ducks. Johnny actually went. He actually went to the campus. He had the jersey on. He was taking pictures and everything. Then he realized that he was going to be competing with Mariota. And Johnny
I feel like he probably still would have won that one in the
I know, but Johnny was like, there's a lot of quarterbacks here. I'll stay at home.
Yeah, well, it worked out.
I think Johnny wanted to be a Longhorn, but
they didn't want him.
And how's Mac Brown doing right now?
Pretty good, yeah.
Mac Brown.
He has a job yet?
Maybe you should have wanted Johnny Manziel. I'm not huge on Johnny in the NFL, but Johnny was a great college quarterback. LaShawn McCoy, I think I'm believing the hype.
He's number 2 for me. I have Charles over him, but you can
And
flip
you got AP 3?
AP 3, Forte 4, but those are the first 4 picks of the draft. I mean, between...
Jeff Mans just threw a curveball and said Forte number 1.
I mean, I don't mind. Only in PPR leagues, though. I wouldn't do it in the standard league, but if you get a points per reception with Trestman's offense, we know that Forte is going to be super involved. I like the upside of that pick. The other 3 guys are just a lot safer than Forte because they get touchdowns. We've seen in the past that Forte isn't the exclusive red zone back.
Chris Polk could probably quietly rack up 5-6 scores, huh?
Yeah, without Bryce Brown around, there's no reason to see why he wouldn't get 8 to 12 touches a game. Darren Sproles is going to get more carries instead of receptions with the Eagles over the Saints right now. So, I mean, Chip Kelly wants to run. That's what he does. So the more they can keep the ball on the ground, the more misdirection they can find. Even Jordan Matthews, you're going to see him on reverses and weird formations and everything like that. So it's going to be the most fun team to watch for the second consecutive year. I'm excited for the Eagles.
You know, the Eagles actually run 47% of the time when they have the lead, which is the tops in the National Football League. And yeah, they run the football. Buffalo ran the ball the most, but not for the most yards. All right, quickly through the wide receivers so we can get into the Cowboys here. Macklin's not
I'm in on Macklin.
Yeah, you like him?
I like him. He's an excellent route runner, great hands, just needs to stay healthy. He's better than Deshaun Jackson.
He's just going to sort of rack up good numbers, but is Cooper, what about Cooper? A lot of people, Cooper and Foles had great chemistry, Pat.
Great chemistry. He's a good deep threat because he can box people out, especially in the end zone where he's such a big body and he's so tall, and he's surprisingly athletic. He's one of the most athletic receivers in the NFL. So they can throw
8 touchdowns last year, probably gets 10, 12 this year.
10. I mean, touchdowns are hard to predict. I'd say 8 again is probably pretty reasonable. He's a bench wide receiver in fantasy. Macklin's a starter, though. 2
rookie wide receivers. One of them, I think, contributes more in Jordan Matthews out of Vanderbilt. They got Huff out of Oregon as well, one of Chip Kelly's guys. I like Matthews a lot.
You like Matthews' toughness, though. Like a lot.
I like his hands. I like his toughness. Yeah, the kid got a concussion, puked on the field, and was making catches in the SEC. He's NFL ready.
It's the same reason I like Le'Veon Bell so much. Guy gets a concussion, comes back the next week, scores some touchdowns for me. I like those guys.
Didn't Le'Veon Bell give people concussions too, like on campus at Michigan State? I don't know, whatever. Let's get into the Dallas Cowboys. Another one of your boys, Tony Romo. Hard not to love Romo from a fantasy standpoint. I'll tell you what, Pat, the Cowboy offense was pretty bad last year. No DeMarcus Ware, no Sean Lee. They're going to be playing in a lot of games that are in the 30s, man.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I have Romo as a top 10 quarterback. This offense is one of the 5 best fantasy offenses in the league. You just go down the list. Whether it's Dez Bryant, he's a top 5 wide receiver. Terrence Williams.
Is he top 3?
No.
No,
not for me.
So people are sort of pushing him in there. Like,
I mean, he very well.
You've got Calvin number 1, AJ Green number 2.
I have, it's Calvin, Green. Then I have Brandon Marshall because I believe in Jay Cutler and I believe in Mark Trestman. And then I go Demarius, Dez, Julio Jones, then Antonio Brown, who I like a lot and I think is sneaking into that tier a little bit. But you can't go wrong with Dez Bryant. I mean, Terrence Williams is going to be like the sleeper of the year with his games. Without Miles Austin around last year, he exploded.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the problem with him is everyone knows he's sort of a breakout candidate. Now he's going too highly in drafts. So you might have to wait on him and take like Brandon Cooks instead.
You know, I like DeMarco Murray. I'm a fan of DeMarco Murray. Living in Vegas, as I lived in Vegas, and DeMarco Murray's a Vegas kid. He's got a radio show. Everybody in Vegas pulls for DeMarcus, for DeMarco Murray. I sort of had I sort of tainted him, saying, he gets hurt a lot. But
he doesn't really.
When I look back last year, he played in 14 games.
Yeah.
He actually got through it, but he didn't stay on the field all the time. But it's a growing process. You know, I'm in on Murray, actually. I think he can put up big numbers this year.
He put up big numbers last year. He's a top 10 option for me in both PPR and standard leagues. I think he's very trustworthy. And the best part about him is he's one of the few 3-down backs in all of football. So when they do get behind in these games and that Civ defense starts giving up touchdown after touchdown, they don't mind throwing to DeMarco Murray if everyone's back in prevent. Here, DeMarco, take it. Here's a 2-yard catch. Go turn it into 30.
15 seconds, your golf picks, and write these down, people. He's red hot.
Golf picks, long shots for the Canadian Open. Scrubs love winning the Canadian Open. So for overall winner, Derek Ernst, 500 to 1, 100 to 1 for top 5. Adam Hadwin as first round leader, good Canadian guy. Canadian not going to win, don't bet on them, but for first round, 100 to 1, you really can't go wrong. Wow. And then top 5s, Jerry Kelly, 11 to 1, David Lingmerth, 20 to 1, and William McGirt to win T2 the last 2 years, 66 to 1.
Hey, listen, I'm no golf guru, but I know pretty much everyone on the tour. I never even heard of half these dudes.
Put it this way, if the RBC wasn't the title sponsor, this would be the worst event.
Well, I don't understand, because after the U.S. Open and the British Open, the Canadian Open is the most prestigious golf tournament in the world, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's after the British Open these days, so no one wants to play.
All right, we got to get out of here. Our place of the day coming up next.